again and welcome back to Elisabeth Hogarth Designs. Today I thought I would show you my happy place. I'm very lucky that I've got a craft space at the top of my home that I share with my children. It used to be the girls' bedroom, but they're now at uni, so I have commandeered the space. This is my view when I come and work at my desk. I am clean and tidy. I do tend to tidy every day after I've finished work, but I like to have all the things that I use around me. So I've got a couple of glass cutting mats and I've got my main scissors and tools in front of me. I then got a bookshelf where I keep my various daily tools. I've got things like my tapes that are in a toilet roll holder, so you can buy these in home stores, and I keep my tapes in there. I've then got my glues and my stamp blocks in smaller boxes. These are my tools and pens. I've got colouring pens in Deflecto boxes, which I'll show you later. I've then got some storage boxes that have got my swatch books in and my storage solutions for smaller papers. And then as you work around the room, this is one of my trolleys. As you can see, I've got sloping shelves, so I had to come up with different storage solutions, but I use these as extra tabletops, and then inside them I store my inks. I've got my everyday pens and pencils, and then various brushes that I use. Moving over here, this is one of my embellishment areas. So this is my pot of buttons. I've got my larger pegs, a selection of embellishment tools. I have had a clear out of quite a few of these bits, so if you follow my page you'll know that I've been selling crafty boxes. But this is my rainbow wall of sequins, which are all again colour coordinated because I find that I work better in that way. I've then got a smaller, the unit on the right hand side is a bathroom shelf unit. Again, I'm always adapting. I don't use things as they're meant to be, but that stores my stickles and my Nouveau drops. I've then got smaller units that I stack up. In the corner there I've got my boxes of craftwork cards papers that are now in colour order rather than collection. And then as you move up to here, this is the area where I take my photos. So I put a piece of white paper up, and I use the lights that you can see. These are some of my more recent projects. That's one of Ben's self-portraits that was a gift to me at Christmas. And then these boxes here are from fridge collections. So it's very trendy at the moment to use these types of boxes to organise your home fridges and freezers, but I've been using them for a couple of years now because they are the right width for my larger packets of stamps, and I also use them to decant my dies. So I don't often keep my dies in their packets. I take them out and I put them into wallets. I label them up and then they go into my own system where I've got shapes, and I use text dies, and then I've got occasions. These are my dynamics dies which I've kept in the packets because I still use them for promo shots. And then these are my larger dies, but they all fit into these large fridge boxes. If you want any details, then just leave me a comment below. This stores my heat tool and my glue gun, and believe it or not, that started life as my daughter's heat tool holder. She didn't really use it, so I commandeered it. And then over in this corner here I've got my extra embellishments. So if I die cut several sentiments at once, I keep them in order so that I can make a card quickly. There's a few of my ribbons. You'll see the rest of the collection in a moment. And then these are my boxes where once again That's if I die cut extra letters, then I store them in alphabetical order for future use. Back to clear boxes that are meant for the fridge. These ones are meant to hold your drink cans, but again they are perfect for putting in your smaller A5 stamps. So again, I put them into wallets, take away the packaging, and they are stored in categories. So I've got backgrounds and butterflies, I've got my Christmas text, and then next to them I've got my oxide inks collection and storage, and my cutting knives, so I keep them well away from everything else that I use. We then move on, and I've got my shelf where I hold my die cutting, my stamping platforms rather, and my guillotines and cutters. These boxes here, I bought one of them for my washi tape collection, and then I thought, well, they're the same size for my pot, so I've again put all of my embossing powders in one place, and then I find that I use them more because I've got them in clear storage. I've got my embossing folders and my stencils packed away in this shelf here, and then this is how I store my excess ribbons. So again, they're all colour coordinated, you've got all the various shades here, and then I fold them up into bows, and then I can see the designs. If I want lace or black or grey ribbon, then I can see them very quickly. I store my 12 by 12 papers here, and I store my cards, my card blanks, on the top of this trolley here. So this is next to my filming desk, so I've got my various heat mats and my greaseproof paper that I use for projects, but then all of my cards are taken out of the packets, and then I can access them quickly, and then the envelopes are kept in the packets and stored elsewhere. And as you move around the room, this is my filming area. The lighting is quite tricky, so I've got like a kiddie's blind that I've got up at the window to try and diffuse the light, but that's literally where I film. Lighting is a problem, so I do use standard lamps. And then I've got another trolley here, and then this is the area where I keep a lot of my tools. The cutting area is again one of the Calyx units like I've got at the back, but I couldn't fit all three upright, so I turned one horizontally, and that's the end result. And that's where I keep all my extra embellishments. But because I have sealed the top with vinyl, that's where I do my large cutting and my die cutting. And then as you move over to this area, this is another storage unit that my dad made and that I've commandeered. It's probably 30 years old, but it does the trick. And then I could store my white cardstock. Those are some of my finished projects. So this is my space. I'm going to show you a few of the ways that I store individual items, which you are welcome to use. If you need any further detail, then drop me a comment below. So this is one of the boxes that I keep by the side of me, and this is for when I lose inspiration, but you will have seen me making up these swatches before. These are my embossing folder swatches. I'll leave you a link to the video where I use these, but if I'm lost for inspiration and I look through things like this, this is my one that I made for the mulberry blooms when I was trying out different ink techniques to see what would work with the mulberry paper. I've then got various smaller ones where I've tested out my ink lily pens, and I've got a selection of the old cards. This is one of the swatch books that I made when I was testing out the new cutting die from Lisa Horton, and these are the American cardstock books. I've got one for the ink lily pens, and again it's a really useful way of remembering what you've got. You can probably tell that I like to be organised, but having the swatch books took it on to another level. This is another way that I store my paper. So when I have used the 12 by 12 sheets for, especially for Craft Consortium, then I cut down the excess paper, and it means that I've got an instant backing paper for a 6 by 6 or a 7 by 7 card, and then I store them within the collection name. And that method again works for me. Another neat storage idea are the way that I keep my egg daubers. I used to use a plain egg box from the milkman, but that became a bit soggy, so I invested in a plastic egg box from the kitchen department, and I keep my daubers in those. I don't wash them very often. I keep one colour per dauber. And they keep really well in there, and you don't get much of a mess. And then the other ones I keep in the box that came with the product itself. This is one of my Deflecto boxes that I purchased for these ink lily pens. They were quite an investment, but I think that they help me to look after the pens. So you can put them on your desk, and because they've got these hinges, you can lay them out as one long line or in a pack of two, or I like them because you can make best use of your space. So I take both sets out, line them up, and then I've got all of my colours to view in one go. Another thing that I do is I save the toilet rolls or kitchen rolls that I have, and I store my wires in them for my machines. I put a piece of patterned washi tape on the tube, and the same washi tape then goes on to the back of one of my machines, my die cutting machines or my computers, and then when I want to use the particular machine, I can easily access the wire. There you go, that's my happy place. Please do leave a comment below and let me know what you think of my storage solutions. Remember that you don't have to buy things specifically for craft rooms. Find the items that you want to store and find a box that's big enough to keep them all. You're far better off by having the things on display because it means that you will use them all. I've got a few new projects coming up in the next few days, so please do like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back crafting with you very soon. Bye bye for now. Take care.